Hello you guys, welcome back to my channel. Today I'm going to be going over what club level is here at Walt Disney World, and I'm going to give you an inside look into the Old Faithful Club Lounge here at Disney's Wilderness Lodge, and I'm going to be answering a bunch of your questions you guys submitted over on Instagram. So let's go ahead and jump into it. We are actually staying in the Yosemite Suite here at Wilderness Lodge right now. We were upgraded from a deluxe club room to the suite with club level access. We did film a full room tour if you want to check out everything this suite has to offer. It is unbelievable. So I will have that video linked down below for you. But basically what club level is, this is a separate room category that you have to book, and I'll go over the pricing and kind of what that difference is to go from a standard room here to a standard club level room and what that looks like. When you're staying club level, you get access to a few different things. One of those things being concierge, and prior to your trip, they will either reach out to you over the phone or by email or both. I got both. The day before we checked in, I got a phone call asking if there was anything we needed, if we had any questions, what time we would be arriving, things like that. And then about a week and a half, 2 weeks prior, I got an email kind of with the same thing. So if you have any questions leading up to your trip, you have access to the concierge front desk here at the Old Faithful Club Lounge, or any of the club level concierge front desks at any of the deluxe resorts. So that's really nice if you need assistance planning your vacation. And then of course you have access to concierge the entire length of your stay, which is awesome. And they give you a phone number. If you have any questions, you can always call or text them, anything that you might need. This is more so miscellaneous type requests, so I don't know about them being able to get dining reservations or lightning lanes or things like that. I've heard of the occasional lightning lane being handed out or the occasional hard to get dining reservation booked by concierge, but other than that, it's gonna be more smaller type needs, but again, it's really nice that you have access to that. And then the main perk, I mean, the number one reason that you stay club level is to have access to that club lounge. So let me go over what that has to offer as well. So when you check in, you get this lovely letter with this personalized note, but then it also is going to include the hours of service for their breakfast, afternoon snacks, hors d'oeuvres, desserts, kind of all the hours that you can expect. So here at the Old Faithful Lounge, I would say these hours are pretty consistent with the other club lounges as well. We have stayed club level at Boardwalk before, and these hours are pretty much identical to our experience over there as well. So beginning at 6:30 is coffee, and then you have continental breakfast from 7 to 10:30. And then they do take a little bit of a break to kind of reset things, and then from 11 to 4, they have afternoon snacks. So this is not gonna be a lunch, so I wouldn't count on, getting a full meal coming back here for lunch or anything like that, but it is nice to have access to some snacks and chips and fruit and dips and, things like that. And then of course you have access to alcoholic beverages as well. That includes beer, wine, champagne. I was able to get a mimosa at breakfast this morning. We grabbed a drink coming back from the park this afternoon. So really nice to be able to just take that right back to your room, or you can enjoy it in the lounge. So really, really nice having those afternoon snacks out. And then they'll do a little bit of a reset, and then from 5 to 7 is hors d'oeuvres. This is gonna be more of a substantial meal. I know here at the Old Faithful Club Lounge, they have a couple of hot items, and those hot items include like barbecue, ribs. They'll bring up some of the items from Whispering Canyon Cafe. So it's not gonna be a ton of options by any means, but it's definitely enough to count as a dinner. So that's our plan for tonight. We're gonna take advantage of the hors d'oeuvres, and that's gonna be our dinner. So if you factor that into the cost of your stay, it really starts to make sense value-wise. And again, we'll get into the cost here in just a little bit. And then after hors d'oeuvres, they'll do another little bit of a reset, and then they do cordials and desserts from 8 to 10. And then come 10 o'clock is when the club lounge closes. All right, moving on, I did a little bit of math and wanted to break down the cost difference between a standard room and a standard club level room. Now keep in mind, these prices are for Wilderness Lodge, so prices are gonna vary based on the resort you're looking at or the time of year. So I just pulled up a random night in May. I feel like that's a very moderate average time of year to travel price-wise. All right, a standard view room for one night is priced at $375. That's pre-tax, of course. And then if you wanted to upgrade to a standard room with club level access, the price is $586. So that is a $211 difference. So depending on how many people are staying with you in the room, say you have 4 people and you are planning on utilizing the club lounge for breakfast and dinner, and then of course you have snacks in the afternoon, but you would still need some kind of lunch. But breakfast and dinner, say you took advantage of that as your meals, for 4 people, breakfast and dinner for, even just one day or 2 days, you have absolutely made your money back based on just what you're getting in the club lounge. Looking at the Courtyard View room, let's say you wanted to move up a tier view-wise, that price per night is $437. And then again, the standard room is $586. And that is a difference of $149 for the night. So again, you're basically paying $149 extra to have access to that club lounge for breakfast, snacks, dinner, and desserts, and your alcoholic beverages. So depending on, again, the time of year and the room type and what resort you're staying at, do the math and just compare the cost. What is that price difference per night? How many people are staying in your room? How much would you pay for dining, and kind of map out what would we do for breakfast and dinner if we were not staying club level, and then, take that cost out and just subtract the difference and see what it ends up being, because it may be more cost effective to actually stay club level. All right, let's move on to some of the questions that you guys asked over on Instagram. So the first question, is this really only a worthwhile upgrade if you're doing more of a resort only stay and the price difference? So I know we just touched on the price, but I would say you definitely want to spend more time at the resort to feel like you are taking full advantage of staying club level. If you are a rope drop to fireworks kind of family, staying club level may not feel worth it. So we are a very resort family. We enjoy being at the resorts. We spend a lot of time at the resorts. We don't rush off to the parks first thing in the morning. We don't stay till midnight. We just like being at the resorts. So staying club level makes a lot of sense for us. So that's what I would say for that. If you aren't planning on spending a ton of time here, then I would just skip club level, because I don't think you would feel like it was worth it. But yeah, if you're a resort family like us, I think it's worth the splurge. Can you rent DVC points for club level? The only resort that you can rent DVC points to stay club level is at Animal Kingdom Lodge, their Kilimanjaro club. That is the only resort that you can rent points for. All of the other resorts you would pay cash for, so that is your only option to stay club level at any of the other deluxe resorts apart from Animal Kingdom Lodge. Is it still very kid friendly? I would say so. I mean, they serve Uncrustables and fruit and, all kinds of kid-friendly food options, which is really nice, especially in the mornings. They have little mini muffins and fruit and yogurt and, so very toddler-friendly things, especially in the evenings during hors d'oeuvres. They'll have some kind of kid-friendly food item like chicken nuggets or mac and cheese or, something like that. So even if your kids are picky eaters, I would say that this is still very kid-friendly. They do have a little kids area with small tables and chairs and Disney Junior playing on the TV. So they have a really cute, little spot to sit and hang out, and, it just feels fun and special. So that's really the only thing that's kid-friendly here. But again, you're mostly upgrading to club for the food and lounge access, and there's lots of kid-friendly, toddler-friendly food items in there for sure. Snack quality, curious if it's actually yummy or just meant to be a variety. I would say the food is actually really good and the snacks are really great. Everything is very fresh. They always have cast members kind of rotating the items and refilling things, restocking things. So everything always feels fresh. Nothing ever feels like it's just sitting out, especially since the hours are pretty short. Again, for the hors d'oeuvre hour, you only have that from 5 to 7. So it's not even enough time for it to sit out and feel like it's been there for a long time, because you only have a couple of hours anyway. Same thing for, the snacks. A lot of it is, you know, chips and dip and hummus and, you know, but again, it feels very fresh. So I would say it's actually really good. I think it's great. I think the snack quality is awesome. And yeah, I think it's really good. How do you book club level? So I know I mentioned this a little bit earlier, but this is a separate room category. So when you are going on the Disney website to book your Disney resort room, when you see, you know, standard room at Wilderness Lodge, keep scrolling down and you'll see standard room dash club level. And that's the one you want to book. And that's the one where you can compare the price. So it's a separate room category. It's not something that you can call or add on. Although I will say, when we checked in, I did go to the front desk and ask, we have a standard room, non-club level. What are the chances of adding on club level to that standard room and what would the price difference be? So she was able to let me know that they did have availability in the club and that she could add on club access to our standard non-club room for $149 per night. So I don't know if that's always available or they just had extra availability and they were able to add that on for us. So, you know, it's definitely worth asking if you get to your resort and it's something that you're interested in. You can always ask. It's never guaranteed. They may be full, but it is something that they were able to offer when we got here. We decided to just hold off and save that money since we were splurging on our last night a little bit, but I was curious to see, and I'm glad that I knew that was an option at least, and it's just helpful to know that if that is something you want to add on, it is a possibility. But usually that is a room category that you need to book. I wouldn't ever bank on just coming here and checking in and saying, we want to do club level. You know, if you have your heart set on club level, make sure to book that room category ahead of time when you are booking your resort. Do they accommodate food allergies, gluten, dairy, etc.? Yes. So there are lots of gluten-free options and they are very aware if you have allergies, they are asking ahead of time. That's one of the very first questions that they are wanting to know when you are checking in. So when you get that email or that phone call from them, that's going to be their first question. Do you have any allergies? Because they absolutely want to accommodate for that. And they go above and beyond to make sure that you have options based on whatever your allergy or dietary needs are. Looks amazing. Will you tell us price? So when we booked our deluxe club room, the original room that we booked, we paid $759 for the night plus tax. So this was definitely a splurge. And again, another reason why we decided to opt out of adding on club level earlier on our first 3 nights of our trip and just splurge on our last night. And then we ended up in this incredible suite on the 7th floor. So I have no idea, but that's how much we paid for our deluxe room. We didn't end up in that room, but that's what we paid for the night. Are there cocktails or just wine and beer? So it's just wine and beer apart from the cordials 8 to 10 hour when they have desserts out. They'll have, and this can vary, you know, based on which resort you're at. It can vary per night. I don't know, based on what they have access to, but sometimes they'll have Bailey's, some type of scotch or whiskey or bourbon or something like that at the end of the night with desserts. But apart from that, there's no cocktails. It's mostly just wine, beer, and champagne. All right, I'm gonna end it there. Thank you guys so much for your awesome questions. And let me know down below in the comments if you can think of anything else that I haven't touched on. I would love to chat with you. And make sure that you are subscribed because I have all the content from this trip coming and I'm just so excited to share this trip with you guys. Thank you guys so much for watching and let me know down below in the comments if you have ever stayed club level, what your experience was. I would love to hear all about it. So thank you guys again. Give this video a thumbs up and I will see you in my next one. Bye.